Good news, everyone! In a first for the channel, I was contacted several months ago with the offer of an early access code to Zoochosis once the game was closer to release. And rather than give you a full rundown of events in the game, I want to pique your interest and entice you into experiencing the game for yourself without ruining the process. What do I mean by that? Well, let's get started. In Zoochosis, it's 1991 and you play as Paul Connolly, a married father who desperately needs a well-paying job. It just so happens that the local zoo in Pine Valley is looking for a night zookeeper to make sure the animals are taken care of overnight, and the job pays $100,000 a year, which would be about $231,000 a year today, $19,000 a month. By comparison, the average zookeeper in America earns about $38,000 a year, so needless to say, it's already a little abnormal. Understandably, however, Paul just wants to feed his family good food for once and lift them above the poverty line, so he doesn't ask too many questions, signing an NDA and going along with most of the off-putting things said to him by Doc, the man in charge. And the moment he's signed this NDA, Doc knocks him out with an injection.
Wait, what's this for?
You'll find out later.
Yes, this is completely normal. Once we wake up, Doc explains the impromptu JAG is simply a precaution to protect us while we work with sick animals. We wouldn't want to bring anything home to our family now, would we? From there, we're taught how to do our job with a tutorial involving the giraffe enclosure, feeding the animals, checking their temperature, and gathering feces for analysis.
Great. Now put on the MFE.
What's that?
Mobile Fecal Extractor. In simpler terms, a shit sucker. You've eaten shit before. Now you're going to suck it.
Since one of the animals has a mild fever, Doc tells us how to mix a medication that'll bring their temperature down, how to dart them with it, and that's it. We're locked in for the night to do our rounds and figure out the rest on our own, which wouldn't be a problem if Doc had actually given us any real warning or training about what we're dealing with.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
Instead, you've been thrown in the deep end with a pair of concrete shoes, so you better learn how to breathe underwater. Whilst a single playthrough can only be 2 to 3 hours depending on your efficiency, there are a number of ways the game can end depending on your actions, and you only have access to 4 of the 8 enclosures at a time, so if you want to see what else can happen or what horrible shapes the other animals can twist into, you have very good reason to play it multiple times. As I said earlier, I don't want to ruin the process of working through this game for you, and what I meant is that a huge part of getting through this game successfully is observation and deduction. What animals are sick, what they're sick with, which animals are just pretending to be sick and with what, and how stealthily you can reach your conclusion without triggering the parasite's mutation early. You can, in fact, work your way to the right answer without the mutated animal literally kicking in the door. Being able to do that, however, might require multiple runs to figure it out. You might miss something or make the wrong decision, locking yourself out of information you needed to succeed. And as you run again and again, you build on what you learned before. You build familiarity with the tools at your disposal, and you find a rhythm. Every time you go again in New Game Plus, it starts you just after the tutorial, letting you dive back in with little to no barriers. And between the moments of horror and stress, you can enjoy the effort that clearly went into bringing these various animals to life, able to pet them and watch them go about their business, either napping or wandering their enclosure. Though there are certainly some animals that I would highly recommend against trying to pet in real life. Now, would I have preferred it to be as atmospheric and scripted as the trailers suggest? Yes, whatever way the mutation is triggered, it's just kind of there now, terrorizing the rest of the enclosure until you deal with it. So it's as good a time as any to warn you that the game has some rough edges. The dev team has been diligently sanding them down since launch, and if you're willing to deal with a certain level of jank, and you're intrigued by the concept of working at a zoo where the animals are infected with a thing-like parasite, I would encourage giving it a chance while keeping those rough edges in mind. Zoochosis is an intriguing concept I would love to see cultivated and iterated upon into something truly heart-pounding, but until then, you can enjoy the creepy goings-on of Pine Valley Zoo. Thank you for watching, and thank you to Clapperheads for the code. Don't forget to drink your water, take your medication, be kind to yourselves, and I will see you all next time.